So I am a Mennonite. That word can be used to refer to our faith, our beliefs. I have all kinds of videos about that here on my channel. I'm not gonna get into that too much today, but the word Mennonite can also refer to our culture. Hi, I'm Megan Fox. I am a Mennonite. I grew up as a Mennonite. I live in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, which is full of Mennonites and Amish. There are certain parts of our culture that might not be the same in some of yours. And so one of those things is a big Sunday lunch. You know, you come home from church and you have this big Sunday lunch with all the courses, the meat, the starch, the vegetables, the gravy. And I do intend to do a video for you guys with some traditional Mennonite recipes, but I want to do that closer to Easter, and yeah, you'll see why. But another big part of Mennonite culture surrounding food, at least in my world, is the Sunday evening suppers. Okay, I don't know if I should call them supper or snack, but in my world, it's not uncommon for on a Sunday evening to get invited away somewhere, and you get to their place around 7 o'clock, and so then around 8 o'clock, the hostess will pull out a either giant snack or a small supper, depending how you want to look at it. And basically it's a lot of just like finger foods, appetizers, that kind of a thing. And if you are so lucky as to get invited away, you would say, hey, what can I bring? Nowadays we have texting and stuff, so you usually text, hey, what can I bring? You know, to help with the snack, the meal or whatever. And you know, sometimes they'll have something for you to bring, chips, dip, whatever. I don't know where you are, how you're living, or if you're even hosting right now or not, but these recipes are good for anybody at any time. And I encourage you to watch, follow along, and see if some of them look good to you. So, and I'm so glad you're here. So let's get into today's video. So I have an absolutely delicious and really easy dessert recipe at the end of this video. But first we're gonna start out with something a little healthier, and I feel like it's sometimes hard to make healthy appetizers and stuff. A lot of times finger foods are kind of like fatty or sugary. So I wanted to start out with a vegetable idea. And what makes this first idea so neat is the presentation of your veggies. So first of all here, I'm just cutting everything up ahead of time. And then you're gonna see me here cutting the cucumbers with a vegetable peeler. They're gonna turn into wheels in just a little bit here. But as I'm cutting here, I wanted to ask you all, how are you doing? Really, like, how is your actual life? I know, I know that like just with the news and everything, things can feel really down, but I just challenge you in a time like this just to look around you, see the blessings you have right in front of your face, and just take time to give thanks for them, to appreciate the little things, the commonplace things. When you take time to do that, it can turn your day around a little bit. So I prepped all my vegetables on Saturday, and then we'll pick this up again later on Sunday when I'm assembling this all into an adorable, well, you'll see in just a sec. Okay, so I am so excited about this next recipe. It's like one of my favorites. I'm very proud of it. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of different recipes thrown together. This is Josh, by the way. If you haven't met him.
Oh, here I am.
I forgot. Some of you guys are probably new. Yes, this is my husband. We're filming this part on a Sunday afternoon. We're having our small group over this evening, so that's why I'm getting a lot of these recipes together. A lot of the footage you saw was from yesterday because I was trying to work ahead, but Josh always takes care of the meat when we do this because it takes a while and he's watching football and wrapping meat in bacon. So this is a really good recipe, and it's coming to you courtesy of ButcherBox. If you guys have been around on my channel for a while, you know that we love ButcherBox, and we just got another box in the mail the other day. So we're using ButcherBox bacon. We have chicken here, sausage, and then we might do little smokies if we have enough bacon left over to wrap it in. So basically you can see here Josh is just wrapping all the meat in bacon, and then we're gonna have a like crumb mixture that you sprinkle over, which is a lot of brown sugar and then some other seasonings. And then we have like this spicy, well, it's a little bit spicy, like a spicy seasoning blended mayo that you can dip everything in if you want to. I for those of you who are signing up for ButcherBox for the first time, they have an awesome game day offer for you all. If you sign up for your first ButcherBox, you're gonna get St. Louis ribs, pulled pork, and a pack of bacon free in your first box. They have 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised beef. They have certified organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and they also have heritage breed pork, which I was looking into, and that actually means they use like the pigs that they used back in the day, where they don't like try to beef them up really fast and get them through the plant. They actually take time to raise them properly, so you have like that good flavor and the good marbling in the meat. Learn something new every day. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I researched what that meant. So that's what heritage breed pork means. Now, when you sign up for ButcherBox, you kind of fill your own box with either just a pre-curated box, or you can just pick your own, which is what we always do. We get a lot of beef usually and some salmon, and you can pick your delivery. It's focusing on you. Focus on me.
It's only getting the bottom
It's
half of my
focusing,
head.
yeah, it's focusing on your head. So you can select your frequency, however often you want it to come, you know, every month or 2, 3, but if you want to cancel, you can always do that at any time too, and there's no penalty or anything like that. So use my code and the link down below in the description box so that you can take advantage of getting that free meat. But that offer is only good from now until February 7th, so definitely get on that right away if you're looking for some really good quality meat that tastes amazing and you actually know what you're eating when you're eating it. So you got a lot done while I was yakking there, but I will go ahead and tell you guys the rest of the process, what we're doing here. This is like a 5-star, I love it so much. It's very time consuming, which is why I'm always glad when Josh helps me do it. But you guys will love this if you take the time to make it. It's just a lot of meat with some really good flavor and seasoning on it. So let me show you what we did. So basically for this recipe, you just want to cut your bacon into thirds, and then you want to have like small pieces of sausage and small pieces of chicken, and then little smokies are already small. But you just wrap a third of a piece of bacon around each one and then secure it with a toothpick. And this is what the time consuming part is. It's not hard at all. It just takes a little bit of time to do this. And then when you have that all done, you're gonna make a brown sugar mixture. So here I am getting that ready a while. And this brown sugar mixture is like a sweet heat type of thing. It's not that spicy. It's very kid friendly. We serve this to the kids. You could up the cayenne if you wanted something a little spicier. But the recipe that I am giving you is definitely child friendly because it takes 1/8 of a teaspoon cayenne. And then also 3 teaspoons of ground mustard, some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and you just mix that all together with your brown sugar, and that gets sprinkled over the meat. Make sure that you line your baking sheets with tinfoil because the brown sugar mixture does make a kind of sticky mess, and it's super easy cleanup if you use tinfoil. And also make sure you have sides because there is going to be kind of a little bit of sauce in the bottom, and you don't want that dripping into the bottom of your oven. And then when it is time to serve, you just heat your oven to 375 degrees and you put your meat in there for 30 to 45 minutes. When it is done is up to your discretion. Personally, I like when the bacon is a little bit crispy and not like snotty, if you know what I mean. I don't like that limp bacon. You want it a little bit crispy, but you don't want everything turning brown, really dark brown and caramelized and half burnt tasting. So just check on it around 30 minutes and then again at 45 or whatever until you think it's done. And then for the dipping sauce, this is what makes this recipe even better. Don't skip this part. Well, I guess you could, it's fine, but this is what takes it over the top. So you just take mayo and add a few ingredients to it to make it taste super amazing. Water, apple cider vinegar, salt, garlic powder, and thyme, and then sugar and pepper, and another half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And again, this is not that spicy at all. The children could have eaten it just fine. Guys, try this recipe out. Let me know how you like it. It's sure to be a favorite. Honestly, we make this so often in a year. It's a family favorite recipe for sure. So definitely try it out. And then while Josh was making the meat, I was working on assembling our veggie train. This was just a way to get kids more excited about veggies, and it still tastes really good to us adults as well. So I'm just taking veggies here, and peppers are the star of the show to make the little train cars. You just cut off the top, take out the seeds, and then you fill each train car with whatever veggies that you would like. I did cherry tomatoes and carrots and celery and snow peas, whatever you like, whatever you can find at the grocery store that's fresh. And then you're gonna take your little cucumbers that you cut with like little stripes on them, and you're gonna turn those into the wheels. And I tried a couple different ways of fastening them with the toothpicks, but at the end of the day, it's just best to use a whole long toothpick and stab it into the meatiest, like hardest part of the cucumber. That way it doesn't slide around. If you poke it through the seed part, it's just not gonna work as well. And then after that, you can break off pieces if you don't want them quite as visible. Just be careful that you don't have any little pieces flying around that, you know, kids could get a hold of or anything. But each little train car was so cute. And I tried to make sure that the colors kind of worked out so that I wasn't having orange carrots with the orange pepper. And you can see here, I'm assembling it all on a tray. I thought I was gonna do it this way, but it did not fit on the tray. I did not have a big enough tray. So what I ended up doing was serving it on parchment paper. And this worked out really well. Look at my little conductor there driving the train. And let's take a moment to appreciate the little cauliflower smoke coming out of the stack. The kids love this, and it got almost eaten completely. You can turn it into kind of more of a charcuterie board if you have lots of extra veggies, sprinkle them around. And my veggie dip recipe is my absolute favorite, if I do say so myself, and it's super easy to do. I made a double batch here, but what you would just need is a tub of sour cream, a packet of ranch dressing mix, and then I sprinkle in just a little bit of cheddar cheese powder, sometimes a little splash of dill, but I didn't have that today, and then just like a tablespoon of sugar. And it is so delicious, guys. You have to try this out. It's a little bit of a twist on a normal traditional dip recipe, and everybody loves it. Yeah, this recipe has appeared so many times on my channel in the past, and you guys seem to love it. Okay, so breadsticks make a great side dish to any Italian meal, but they're also just great as an appetizer. So this recipe is super delicious and way easier than some breadstick recipes. So you just mix your dough as you would with bread dough, and don't let the yeast thing scare you guys. You can do it. I have confidence in you. It's not hard. One of my tips is to keep the yeast in the freezer so it reacts better to your warm water, and your warm water should just be like, you know, a baby's bath water, or maybe a little bit warmer. Yeah, I feel like too many people are scared of working with yeast, and honestly, I don't think you can really mess these breadsticks up. So you just put your yeast, your sugar, and your salt in the warm water and stir that together a little bit and add your oil. And then the recipe calls for 4 cups of bread flour. That's just because it makes the best breadsticks, but honestly, go ahead and use all-purpose flour and you will be fine. And then you just want to work your dough together till it comes into a nice uniform lump. This doesn't have to take long at all, and if it feels kind of dry and flaky, just drizzle in a little bit of extra water just to pull the dough together completely. And then you just let it alone and let it rise. And while that's happening, I like to get my other ingredients together, my toppings. So after your dough is risen, you'll just plop it on a greased baking sheet, and then you just kind of use your hands to spread it out into a rectangle as best you can. And then you're gonna use your butter as kind of the glue and smear that all over your dough, and then just sprinkle it with whatever you want. I like Parmesan cheese and cheddar cheese. Mozzarella is great for this. And then I use garlic salt, oregano, and basil, and just sprinkle that pretty liberally all over the whole thing. So it's kind of like a pizza idea, but there's no sauce. That comes later. And you can get as creative as you like, but I will put down my version in the description box below. And then you pop it in the oven at 375 degrees, and it took my breadsticks exactly 15 minutes to get done, but that would depend a little bit on how much you patted yours down. Mine were about 1/4 of an inch, I think, when I put them in the oven, and then they puff up to more than that. And then you can just dip these in your favorite marinara or pizza sauce. And yeah, this is a great recipe just to make as a side for one of your meals, or it's a great thing to serve at one of those supper/snacky meals. Okay, so I promised you a super easy yet impressive dessert recipe here at the end, and this is going in the appetizer category because I'm gonna put them in little individual cups, and these remind me of the Applebee's little chocolate mousse shooters. Now, I'm a firm believer that there's only one kind of Oreo, and that's the real kind, but the off-brand works great for this recipe. Nobody's gonna know the difference. And then for your vanilla pudding, you can either use vanilla pudding mix boxes or you can buy it in bulk. Either one will work. And then also chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream, you do whatever one sounds better to you, and then whipped topping as well. And I recommend a stand mixer for this recipe just so you can whip it really good. But if you really let your ice cream get soft, you can probably do it by hand as well. So first of all, I'm just taking my off-brand Oreos and throwing them in my Ninja. You could also put these in a gallon bag and have your kids take a whack at it, but I decided to use my Ninja, and that made the crumbs really fine. Maybe you just want to smash them by hand if you want more of a coarse crumb. And I think I overfilled this thing. I was making such a mess trying to get it all done, but pulsing definitely helped rather than just, you know, hitting the button. And I do love my Ninja, highly recommend it. And this is a great thing to get your kids involved. My little 1-year-old was having so much fun hitting the button over and over again, and it worked out great because it needed to pulse anyway, so why not? Good job, Fletcher. And then here are my little individual portion cups. This is gonna make a different amount depending how big your cups are that you're using. Mine made about 18, and I did run out of Cool Whip, so I will put that down in the recipe down below. You need 2 containers of Cool Whip if you wanna be as generous as I was with the toppings. Just put in a little base layer of Oreos, and then it is time for your ice cream mixture. This is like earth-shattering. If you have not tried this before, you must. It is so good. By the way, this made a big mess because I probably should have waited for my ice cream to soften a little bit more. But once your ice cream is soft but not melted, you wanna put it in your stand mixer and then add 2/3 of a cup of pudding mix or one of the large boxes of vanilla pudding. It's not that touchy. Either combination will work fine. And you can use chocolate ice cream and chocolate pudding or whatever version you want. I just like this chocolate ice cream combined with the vanilla pudding. It just reminds me of like the Wendy's Frosties. And basically you just put that in a stand mixer and mix it up and you're good to go. And then just use an ice cream scoop and a spoon and get a blob of that on top of your Oreo crumb base. And the reason this ice cream mixture is so magical is because it's fine to freeze it and serve it that way. It's fine to serve it in the fridge because the pudding kind of acts as a stabilizer. And this is just a great thing that's very easily transported if you want to bring a dessert somewhere. And then what I did next was I put the Cool Whip on top. And as I said, I did run out. So you want 2 containers of Cool Whip. Put a generous amount on top to cover up the ice cream. And then top it again with Oreo crumbs on the top, as much or as little as you want. And if you have extra Oreo crumbs, the best thing about them is that they're really easy to freeze and use at a later date. Just make sure you label them with the date and what they actually are and pop them in the freezer. And did I say that this recipe is kind of messy? It's worth it though, guys. It was so fun to make. The kids enjoyed it too, and it was a real hit. And for any of you beginner cooks out there, this is a great recipe to make. It's impressive, but it's so easy. You don't have to worry about cooking milk and making actual pudding or anything like that. So yeah, I highly recommend this recipe. Let me know if you try it. Hey, same Megan here from the beginning of the video. I just wanted to film the conclusion right now, that way I had it ready to go. I hope that you found at least one recipe that you intend to try. Let me know what other types of themed food recipe videos you'd love to see. I love cooking. Okay, I go in spurts, but usually I love cooking, and yeah, I want to make some more cooking videos for you guys here in the future. So let me know what you'd be into seeing. Also, check out ButcherBox for that awesome discount. We love it, and I know you guys will too. Also, if you make any of these recipes and you happen to follow me on Instagram, tag me in a picture sharing what you made so I can share it with everybody else in our community here. And yeah, it's just so fun to see, you know, we're all cooking anyway, right? So why not like inspire each other a little bit? So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.